Most people think their resume is just listing every job that they've done. But at the director level, employers aren't hiring you for tasks. They're hiring you for your ability to deliver results, set strategy, and grow teams. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you. I'll show you in this video how to highlight your leadership impact in a way that gets you noticed and puts you on the short list for a director or executive opportunity. In case we haven't met, I'm Lisa Apia, certified career strategist and executive coach. I specialize in helping introverts land and succeed in leadership roles. So let's get right into this. When you are starting off with writing your resume, you want to make sure you're choosing the right format. There are 3 types of resume formats. There's the chronological, the functional, and the hybrid. At a senior level, you want to stick with a chronological resume. It is best because it shows progression. So if you've progressed from an analyst to senior analyst manager, now you're going towards director, the chronological resume is the best resume to show your impact over time. If, however, you are someone who's making a career change, you want to opt for a hybrid or a combination resume where you lead with your transferable skills and strengths, and you still show the timeline of when you progress through the various roles that you had. But you want to stay away from the functional resume. This is more typical for candidates who are new to the workforce and who don't have a lot of experience, so they want to lead with skills first. The next thing you want to do is create what we call a master resume. Before you start drafting your resume, you need to know what the target is. What's the goal right now with this resume in terms of the role, the employer, and the industry. This will help you create one resume, a master resume, because you're essentially applying for roles that are very similar. So you're not adjusting your resume or writing a brand new resume every time you apply for a role. You're just making minor tweaks that will align better with that job posting. So if you're looking at your resume, very top of the resume, you want to make sure your contact information is included. That's your name, city, state or province, the phone number, your professional email address, and then your LinkedIn profile URL. And optional, depending on your industry, you may want to add language with proficiency if it's relevant in your industry. If you're in a kind of industry that focuses on credentials or certain levels of clearance, in the header you may want to add something like PMP or secret clearance. Another thing is if you're open to relocating for the role, then you want to add that at the top of the resume as well. So the main thing to keep in mind is that you do not want to add your full street address. This opens you up to way too many scams and other privacy challenges as well. Still talking about the very top of your resume, you want to add the exact title of the role that you're applying for on your resume. Not the title that you have now, the title that you want. This helps the applicant tracking system, and it also helps when your resume is getting reviewed. So now we're moving down a bit and we're talking about a branding statement. A branding statement does for your resume what a LinkedIn headline does for your LinkedIn profile. It's a short, powerful sentence that communicates your professional identity and the unique value that you bring to an organization. So you can think of it like a slogan or a tagline, just one line that really sums up how you work, what you stand for, and the results that you deliver. It usually appears just under your name and target role title at the top of your resume, and it just helps position you quickly. It tells the hiring manager who you are and what you specialize in a few seconds. So it really distinguishes you from other candidates who may have similar job titles. It demonstrates that you are a match, that your strengths match the need that the company currently has. Here's an example of a branding statement we created for one of our clients who was an insurance director. At the top of the resume, we said repeatedly appointed to revive partnerships, retaining $1 million account. Short, simple, but communicates the value that she brings into a leadership role. So now let's talk about your professional summary or summary of qualifications. So this is 3 to 4 lines that position you for the leadership role that you want next. If you have not updated your resume in a long time, you may still have an objective statement on your resume that sounds something like, I'm applying for this role because I'm passionate about XYZ. So we do not use objective statements anymore. The professional summary has replaced the objective statement, and it's a way for you to demonstrate the value you bring to the company and immediately answer the problems that you solve. If you think about it, when somebody opens your resume on their computer, the same way you open a Word document, the first thing you see is the first half of that document. So you really want to make sure that that first half captures the attention of the recruiter or hiring manager. You may also choose to demonstrate your value by including a career highlight section that showcases your top accomplishments, and you can see that we have a section like that in this resume that I'm showing you right here. In this resume, we included a technical skills section because that was relevant to that person in their industry, but you can also do something similar by adding a skills section or core competency section that has 10 to 15 targeted keywords that mirror the language in the job poster to help with optimization. And depending on your industry, you may want to balance between hard skills and soft skills. And I'm really showing you these examples because I want you to realize that there isn't a one-size-fits-all to resume writing. What matters is ensuring that the relevant information can easily be found. The next thing that should follow on your resume is your professional experience. So many leaders frame their resume around their responsibilities instead of their results. And hiring executives already know what a director does. They understand what a director oversees. That's why they want to hire one. But they want evidence of the scale, the strategy, the outcomes that you've been able to deliver in the past, because that's an indication of what you can bring to their company. So your resume should lead with scope and impact so that the reader instantly sees the volume of your leadership and what you've been able to do in the past. Here's a formula that we use for our clients to help them write their resume bullets. And this is what I use as well when I'm writing resumes for my clients. So results/impact plus the scope and scale, comma, action, and then the task. So this is the framework that we use here at We Apply to be able to write our clients' resumes, and it really helps them stand out because it communicates the result and the impact, the scope of their work, and then how did they do it. And that's ultimately what a leader wants to know about your work as a director who's applying for a new role. So you want to have 3 to 5 bullets per role. If you've been in the role for some time, you could go to 6 bullets, but not anything more than that. Try to stick to what's relevant in the last 15-ish years. If you have experience beyond that, you can consider adding it in a different section called additional professional experience. A key thing to keep in mind is you want to start every accomplishment bullet with an action verb. And really being able to be specific about your achievement, it pays off. We worked with a manager. We helped her land a director role in less than 4 months. She went from $140K to over $200,000 a year. She came back to us 2 years later, and we helped her land an executive role at a compensation of $272,000. And this was because of her branding, her communication, and her positioning on her resume, her LinkedIn profile, and the preparation that we gave her for interviews. And you can take a look at the link in the description to book a consultation with us and learn more about our career coaching services for managers, directors, VPs, and executives. The thing that comes next is certification, licenses, and education. You want to include a section at the end of your resume that includes this information. And you don't need to include the year, just the degree or diploma name, the institution, and the expiry date if there is one, especially for certifications. So now a couple of things to keep in mind when you're creating your resume. Keyword optimization is going to be really important. So you want to make sure that you're placing relevant keywords and key phrases from the job posting naturally within your resume, in the summary, in the competencies, in the achievement bullets. And that's the best way way to ensure that there is alignment between the skills, the experience that you have, and the actual job posting. You can easily use ChatGPT, Gemini, or any of these AI tools and copy and paste the current version of your resume and then add the job posting and then ask it what keywords you should include to align your resume to that job posting and where does it fit naturally in the current format of your resume. So AI can easily help you do that so that it sounds more natural and not forced. And just to keep in mind when you're using AI to write your resume, use it more as an assistant, not as a ghostwriter. Another thing to keep in mind, as I told you at the beginning, you have a master resume. So it is important that you tailor your resume to every application. You're not rewriting the whole thing, but you may want to reorganize some bullets. You will need to change the title at the top of the resume to align with the job posting, or you may need to make a few switches in the keywords or the skills that you're talking about at the top of your resume to align with a specific job posting. And a couple of things to leave out of your resume. Don't include your age, don't include a photo, don't include your marital or parental status, don't include your salary history, and don't include your full street address. Something that I see on a lot of executive resumes sometimes because they have been in the workforce for some time and they've never removed it from their resume. You don't need to write references available upon request at the end of your resume. Keep that line for something that's more relevant. If they need your references, they're going to ask you for them, so you don't need to write that on your resume. So if you're looking for someone to professionally write your resume for you, or actually to apply to roles for you, we do provide that service in our job search coaching services, and we really do the heavy lifting so you can focus on preparing for interviews. So if you're a mid to senior level professional, check out the link in the description to learn more about our coaching services. Now, if you're working on your resume, you are probably working on your LinkedIn profile as well. If it's time for a LinkedIn refresh, this is the video you want to watch. I will see you in that one. Take care.